It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBSports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good evening. Welcome to Pennsbury High School as we overlook Falcon Field and get you set for high school football on the WBCB Sports Network. The rivalry is renewed once again as the Neshaminy Redskins have traveled to Fairless Hills for tonight's contest, and we've got it for you on the WBCB Sports Network. In just a moment, we'll share the performance of the Neshaminy Marching Band. It's also senior recognition night for Pennsbury, so Ben Goldstein is going to take over on the PA, and we'll have the hookup for you with the band, cheerleaders, and football team all getting recognized here on senior night for the Falcons. Tonight's game brought to you by St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey's Food Markets. This is the McCaffrey's Game of the Day. McCaffrey's, exceptional every day. We're going to tell you about their Crazy 8 sale, which is coming up on November the 1st. Thanks also to Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, PNC Bank, Jen Shorn for DA, the Revere Restaurant powering portions of tonight's game on BCB, along with Team Toyota, Kent's Tree Service, the N Club, the Kalinowski Performance Academy with Sandy's Beef and Ale, the host of our High School Coaches Roundtable show on BCB. Thanks to the Peruzzi Automotive Group, the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, Yardley Pharmacy and Supply, 9th Street on Main, the Trentonian. And this is the Trentonian pregame show. Again, we'll get you to the field in just a bit. The Neshaminy Marching Band set to do their thing. Thanks also to Galaxy Landscaping, PIAA District 1, Haldeman Ford, BAI Security Systems. You can build a game-winning defense around your business with BAI Security. Kramer's Bakery, helping to make portions of tonight's game possible with Charcoal BYOB, Yardley Family Haircutters, Jammer Doors, the Peruzzi Auto Group, Puss in Boots Tavern, Senator Steve Sanacero with Chris Auto Body, DiLorenzo's, the Berg Pizza, and the Irish Rover Station House, along with Junior's Car Wash and Villa Rosa Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant. Great community support for tonight's game as we bring both our Neshaminy and Pennsbury broadcast together, and we welcome in Jordan Hirsch. Well, Jordan, as we welcome you in, I think I'm going to crank up the mic as the Redskins are set to perform as the marching band is on the field pregame.
Everything we are, everything we become, starts with a simple truth. We matter. From the core of our being, to the ways we move through this world, we exist in different states. Solid, liquid, gas. Each one a reflection of who we are and who we choose to be. We begin grounded, solid, a state that won't shift, that holds strength, a foundation built to endure. but strength also flows. Liquid, ever-changing, always moving. It curves and bends, adapting, reshaping, healing. Like water, we shift with emotion. Smooth, expressive, real. Joy, sadness, love, doubt. They pour from us and shape who we are. And in these waves, we learn to accept, to understand, to feel. Liquid is not weakness. It is the power of vulnerability, the beauty of change. I am emotion. I am liquid. Now, we rise. Gas, a state without boundaries. It expands. It reaches. It fills every space it enters. We become that state. Limitless, uncontained. We take up space, not because we have to, but because we belong. And in that freedom, in that fearless movement, we realize something powerful, something undeniable. I matter. We matter.
Great performance by the Neshaminy High School Marching Band. And it's senior recognition for the Pennsbury Falcons tonight as they host the Redskins. High school football on the WBCB Sports Network. This is the Trentonian pregame show. Senior recognition ceremonies coming up in just a little bit. We thank our sponsors throughout the year, including Junior's Car Wash, the fastest growing and most award-winning locally owned and operated car wash in Lower Bucks. It's Junior's Express Car Wash right near Pennsbury High School at the corner of Hood and New Falls Road. And a Pennsbury graduate over there, a proud supporter of his alma mater. Join Junior's Express's Car Wash Rewards Program and get a free $20 car wash. Take advantage of discounted monthly packages and free vacuums. Junior's Express Car Wash open Monday through Saturday from 7 to 7, and Sundays open 8 to 7 at the corner of New Falls and Hood. Also at 2270 Bristol, Oxford Valley Road in Levittown. The 2025 football players, cheerleaders, and band about to get their recognition. The Falcons coming off of a big win over Abington, but that is their lone victory of the season. Meanwhile, Neshaminy, a solid postseason team with a 6-3 record coming into this one and looking to finish their season off on a good note as they look to embark on a postseason run. Chris Ermer with Jordan Hirsch and Gus the Bus Barber. Great to have you with us on a Friday night under the lights. And Jordan, great night for the game. A little chilly out there, but perfect for this time of year. This is football weather.
This is football weather, Chris, and more specifically, this is Neshaminy Pennsbury football weather. Of course, this game always here at the end of October. Always a very fun atmosphere whenever these two teams get together. And Chris, you were talking to me on my show, The High School Huddle, yesterday, and you said that it's kind of a cliche to use the term throw these records out the window, but I think with this game, you have to throw the records out the window. Neshaminy 6-3, Pennsbury 1-8. The seasons have gone in two very different directions. Right now, though, it's the Falcons who have all the momentum coming into this game. They had the big win over Abington last week. Luke Bagley, the 5 touchdowns. Neshaminy, they've looked a little suspect these last few weeks. They've lost 2 of their last 3. Michael Eckert, the quarterback, had probably his worst game of the season last week against Central Buck South when it came to the inaccuracy. So it's going to be a really interesting to see how both teams come out here this evening.
All right, we're looking forward to the game. We now turn back to the field for senior recognition night, and we turn our microphone up. We got Ben Goldstein
towards the 50-yard line as we will begin our ceremonies with the football team. Sean Beatty, escorted by mother Candace Drayton and father Sean. Jordan Brensinger, escorted by mother Gwen, father Matthew, sister Addison, and brother Ryan.
It's great. We get to meet the senior members of the football team, and Beatty and Brensinger, unfortunately.
Caden Brown, escorted by father Keith Jr., mother Danielle, sister Taylor Briganti, brother Keith III, and niece and number 1 fan, Eliana.
We better just let Ben do his thing. I don't want to jump on him.
Houston Davis, escorted by father Quinton.
We got to let Ben cook.
Spencer Grimm, escorted by mother Jennifer Antonini, father Matthew Antonini, sister Gabriella Antonini, and sister Alexandria Antonini. Connor Jones, escorted by mother Jennifer, father Michael, and brother Shane. David Kane, escorted by mother Anna, father Dave, sister Emily, and sister Taylor. Aiden Kitchenman, escorted by father Ross, mother Alyssa, brother Landon, and sister Peyton. Matthew McCartney, escorted by Father James, Mother Lisa, Brother Ben, Sister Taylor Thompson, and Grandfather Rick Burton. Aiden McIntosh, escorted by Mother Michelle Kozmowski and Father Kurt Yates. Justin Meeks, escorted by Father Michael, Mother Linda, and Grandmother Kathy Poor. Mauricio Meja, escorted by Dulce Pena. Miranda Miller, escorted by Mother Joanne and Father Dave. Connor O'Brien, escorted by Mother Carla, Father Jim, Brother Liam, and Sister Riley. Evan O'Hara, escorted by Mother Kristen Rogers, Stepfather Kyle Rogers, Father Walter, Brother Sean Rogers, and Brother Connor Rogers. Jacob Parada, escorted by Mother Mary, Uncle Paul, and Brother Parker Coons. Angelo Pereira, escorted by Father Carlos, Mother Tiffany, and Brother Dominic. Jashawn Sampson, escorted by Mother Chalisa Bartley, Father Brian, Sister Zara, Aunt Angela Wilson, and Nick Wilson. Dante Ciola, escorted by Father Frank, Mother Amanda, and Sister Ava. Sean Schuster, escorted by Father David, Mother Sheila, Sister Jillian, Sister Deanna, and Challenger buddy Kenny Brown. Tyshawn Duran Oduru Sumua, escorted by Mother Afua, Sister Avery Schuyler, Sister Maddie, Aunt Maymay, Cousin Niameda, and Uncle Kojo. Now the cheerleading squad. Carly Barnett, escorted by Danielle and Caleb. Brielle Berry, escorted by Shade Robinson Berry and Leonard Chisholm. Kayla Davis, escorted by Erica, Kel, Gabby, Bella, and Jordan. Ellie Limer, escorted by Tam, Dan, Danny, Jimmy, and Jess.
Trentonian pregame activities getting you closer to kickoff on BCB.
Riley Liston, escorted by Kelly, Keith, and Mackenzie. Annalise Manis, escorted by Aaron, Samantha Calisto, Michelle, Stan, Joseph, and Mahadi Pramanik.
Senior recognition night pregame. So fun to see the families having a good time down there.
And Kelsey Summers, escorted by Lindsay, Jason, Madison, Kate, and Hunter.
All right, so we got the football and the cheerleaders. Now the band gets a little love.
Last but not least, the long orange line. Shivana Anuvinthan, escorted by Mother Asha Ramachandran and Father Asha Ramachandran. Liam Orders, escorted by Father Bill, Mother Dawn, Brother Paul, and Godfather John.
I like how Ben really leaned into that long orange line for these band introductions.
Cameron Baglieri, escorted by Mother Kristen. Drum Major Ethan Braverman, escorted by Father Andrew, Mother Jennifer, and Brother Jonathan. Amira Calaharano, escorted by Mother Maribeth, brother and marching band alumni Gabriel, grandmother Beth Holsizer, Aunt Christy Leaves Lee, and marching band member Leo Rousey.
And the Neshaminy marching band playing just a few minutes ago, so Pennsbury
Matthew
at
Combs,
halftime.
escorted by Mother Susanna and Father Michael. Matthew Ennis, escorted by Father Patrick, Mother Christine, and Brother Ryan. Juliana Leonard, escorted by Father Craig and Mother Christine. James Mathai, escorted by Mother Nancy, Father Dave, and Brother Andrew.
Great to be back home for Pennsbury and the Pennsbury Football Parents Club, bringing you portions of tonight's game.
Adeline Mower, escorted by Mother April C. Umbrello.
Yeah, they got the new concession stands and new Falcon Field. Feels good to be here Friday night under the lights.
Adriana McDool Newman, escorted by Mother Jen McDool, Father Mike Newman, and Sister Grace McDool Piper McMillan, escorted by Father Chris, Mother Mickey, Brother Sawyer, Sister Veronica Sanita, and stepmother Jen Sanita. Lily Middleman, escorted by Mother Randy and Father Bruce. Ethan Moore, escorted by Father Jesse and Mother Van. Jaden Patricella, escorted by Mother Amanda, Grandfather Joe, and Godmother Julia Stanislow.
Inching our way closer to kickoff tonight on BCB.
Grace Ochoa, escorted by Mother Yvonne, Father Alexander, and Sister Sophia. Cooper Pollux, escorted by Mother Crystal and Uncle Pete.
Well, maybe the senior recognition stuff will help Pennsbury to bring their A game. Gonna need it tonight against a very tough Neshaminy team.
Leo Rousey, escorted by Coach Natalie Beach and best friend Jen Buxton. Michael Stemley, escorted by Mother Krista Scott and Father Mike. Annabelle Talakis, escorted by Mother Amanda Wheeler and Father Jerry. Gavin and Alex Weisgerber, escorted by Father Dan, Mother Becky, and Sister Annabelle.
All right,
Give a round of applause to the class of 2026.
Nice job, Ben, on the PA. And Ben Goldstein, who's been part of our Pennsbury broadcast throughout this high school football
needs
season.
your help. Parents and
hold on,
students
he's got
to
more to
raise
say.
money to make an impact. Both Pennsbury and Neshaminy Minithon clubs are here tonight and will be hosting a Minute to Win It fundraising competition to raise money for kids battling childhood cancers.
Ooh.
At the end of the first quarter, there will be student members running up and down the stands on both sides, and each side will have only 1 minute to raise as much money as they can. Get your donations ready and hold them high up in the air. Pennsbury, let's take home a win on the field and in the fight. Beat Nesh and beat cancer.
Finishing on a strong note there. Well, he's going to go with the student section to try to cheer on the Falcons. We thank him for the work he's done with us throughout the year with the stats and the post-game interviews, in-game analysis, and today he gets to be on the mic for senior recognition ceremonies, which I know he was really looking forward to. Chris Ermer, Gus the Bus Barber, and Jordan Hirsch in the mix. And like I said, Jordan, Pennsbury really going to need to bring their A game, but as you were mentioning, they do have the momentum coming off of a big win last week over Abington, and Neshaminy, a little bit of a slip-up against CB South, and they've had a few of those this season. That Cheltenham game is a little bit of a mystery. Their CB South loss was one that probably they look back on and see some missed opportunities.
Yeah, and Chris, when it comes to the CB South game, they certainly got the Titans' best effort last week. The Titans needed that game to stay alive in the postseason mix, and they got to expect the same type of fight out of this Pennsbury Falcons squad. Of course, a team that isn't going to qualify for the postseason this year, but in a rivalry game like this, you know they're going to get up for it.
No question. Well, we always say big flag means big game. They got the big flag out here on the field, and we definitely got the big game energy, Gus, on a Friday night under the lights, and these two teams getting back after it. All right, let's stay right here, turn back to the field as the band with the Star Spangled Banner to get us closer to kickoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to join us in a moment of silence for Ed Cochran, a legendary physical education teacher and basketball coach who began the Falcons in 1971 and dedicated decades to our student athletes. A 2002 Pennsbury Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Cochran's impact on this community will never be forgotten. We can have a moment of silence. Thank you.
All right, just about set for kickoff. McCaffrey's game of the night on the WBCB Sports Network and the Pennsbury Football Parents Club. Happy to be back here at Falcon Field. They got the new concession stands and all new Pennsbury apparel. And we thank them for helping to make portions of tonight's game possible here on WBCB. All right, yeah, closer to kickoff here on a Friday night. Neshaminy coming off of a tough loss to CB South, 24-21, and it was really one sequence in that game, Jordan, that really was the undoing for Neshaminy. Played pretty well, but there was like a 3-minute sequence in there where they gave up some big points and just could not recover. But so Pennsbury maybe holding a little bit of momentum, but Neshaminy, they have been strong throughout this season. You look at the week before that, they put up 41 points against CB East in a shootout in that game.
Yeah, for Neshaminy, last week they really got bit by the turnover bug in the first quarter. Something that they've done a really nice job of really the entire season is not turning the ball over. Last week in the first quarter, 3 turnovers alone. Plain and simple, that cannot happen for the Skins tonight if they want to get the win. And you're right, Chris, this has been an offense that certainly has shown some big playability. 41 points the week prior against Central Bucks East. They've scored 40 or more points 3 separate times this season. Michael Eckert, their quarterback, he's a gunslinger. Only 3 interceptions, well over 20 touchdowns this year, and he's 204 yards away from 2,000 through the air as we come into this game. You know that's something that he's going to have on his mind tonight as well.
Yeah, the only time Pennsbury was able to eclipse that 40-point mark was last week in their win over Abington as the Falcons get set to take the field. And tonight's game beginning with a tribute and a moment of silence in honor of legendary Pennsbury coach Ed Cochran, who was on our Pennsbury Falcon football broadcast for a long time and would always say, He saw orange out of one eye and black out of the other eye because he was such a Pennsbury Falcon fan. And here come the Falcons tonight on Senior Recognition Night. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Yeah, Coach Cochran, a legendary basketball coach, but did our color analysis on BCB for a while. And he said he didn't want to be a homer, was trying to see everything objectively, but he could only see orange out of one eye and black out of the other eye as a big part of this Pennsbury community. And we want to extend our condolences to his family, many of which are in the Pennsbury Athletics Hall of Fame. So let's see how we get this one going tonight as the captains set to take the field.
At the 50-yard line, we are honoring head referee tonight, Jim Stewart.
And thanks to Senator Sanacero, proudly serving the 10th Senatorial District, and proud to support tonight's game. As a public service to the community, Senator Sanacero supports the youth of our community, tomorrow's future leaders. And Steve, a former teacher, is a leader in education, along with infrastructure, environment, women's health issues, gun violence protection in the 10th Senatorial District. And if your school would like a tour of the Capitol in Harrisburg, you can contact Steve's office at SenatorSteveSanacero.com. That's SenatorSteveSanacero.com. Well, the group that was with us on Wednesday at our Captain's Night for the roundtable show, heading to midfield, Sean Beatty, Connor O'Brien, Dante Ciola, out there for the Pennsbury Falcons, and Milo Meeks with quarterback Mike Eckert taking the field for Pennsbury. Owen Schwartz also out there. And who's the fourth captain?
Carson Schneider.
And David Kane, the fourth member of the leadership group for Pennsbury. Well, last couple of weeks, the Falcons have started with the football first.
Let's give our BCC
But the tendency anymore is to win the coin flip and try to defer to the second half. Want to let you know that 20 minutes from Langhorne, a better Ford car and truck buying experience at Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Biggest night of the high school football season for these two programs. Coach Fairless on Wednesday night said that when he was welcomed here to Neshaminy, he was told that this game is a big one. It is Pennsbury that wins the coin flip, and they will defer to the second half. So Neshaminy will start with the football tonight, looking to bounce back into the win column and get a little momentum into a potential postseason run. Also, Jordan, if they get some help from some other teams, it's a possibility that they could come away with a home game next week, which would be a big help to get that run started at Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah, Neshaminy would certainly love nothing better than to get back in front of their home fans. They finished with 3 straight games on the road in the regular season. Chris, if the season ended today, they would be the number 10 seed in the District 1 6A tournament, meaning you're right, they would have to go on the road in the first round, but a win tonight, they would need some help. Currently, Ridley is slotted in that number 8 spot, so they need a win, and they need some probably some pretty big losses all around Bucks and Montgomery and Philadelphia County to get that necessary help. But the Skins, they're focused on the task at hand right now. The only thing they can control is how they play tonight against Pennsbury.
And for Pennsbury, what has been a difficult season could have a huge turnaround tonight, Gus, with a win in this game. And they do carry some energy from last week's Abington game. They really put it on the Ghosts. They had 35 points up on the scoreboard and put them in the mercy rule by the time the first half was over in that game.
Yeah, and it was a dominating performance in the first half, and it was from a name we haven't really heard that much offensively. Luke Bagley was the number that was called last week against Abington and really shined for this team, and may have found something Coach Snyder has in Luke Bagley, maybe at offense, and can continue that momentum here in this game, like you said.
So Pereira to kick off for Pennsbury. Back deep for Neshaminy is Brock Williams. Sometimes Pereira has been opting to do the short angled kicks, and there he may be targeting Mike Sassano, who is also deep on the far side of the field. And we are back underway. McCaffrey's game of the night, fair catch called for and made by Carter Klee. And he will secure the football at the 32 to start Neshaminy's first drive of the night. Again, the rivalry renewed. Great to have you with us on a Friday night under the lights here at Falcon Field. And running the show for Neshaminy, senior QB Michael Eckert. And he'll be working out of the shotgun. Here, quick throw out to Williams. Hits him in the flat, and Williams will take it up to the 40 before getting pushed out of bounds by Depew. But that was right on cue, Jordan, with what you told us to expect here before the game.
Yeah, that's one of the plays Neshaminy has been going to a lot, really the entire season. Those drive-starting wide receiver screens. Brock Williams, the recipient there. Coach Fairless likes to get his team ahead of the sticks with that play call.
So they pick up 9, 2nd and 1, and Eckert, another throw, another completion. This time, Bobby Lagler with the grab. It's a short pickup, but enough for a Neshaminy first down up to their own 45.
Yeah, Bobby Lagler, a transfer from Germantown Academy. He's been one of the main deep threats for Neshaminy this season. They get him involved early with that quick out route.
Well, you can see Neshaminy going to be putting pressure on this Pennsbury secondary. Eckert with a couple of early throws. Now he'll pull it down, give to Williams. Williams upended on the outside by Sean Beatty. Beatty makes the tackle after a gain of 3.
Yeah, Brock Williams this season, Chris, he's been utilized 80 to 90% as a wide receiver. Last year, he was one of the big-time running backs. Carter Klee had an injury. Brock Williams slotted in real nicely in the run game. You see him get the handoff right there. He is very capable in the run game as well as, of course, through the air.
Right now, Klee on the right of Eckert pulls it down and throws, completes it. Again, Bobby Lagler with the grab, and that's going to be just enough for a Neshaminy first down. They needed 7, and they got 7 up to the 45 into Falcon territory and quickly up to the line of scrimmage. A little tempo for the Skins. 4 receiver Sassano goes in motion. And they'll throw a backwards pass to Sassano, makes the grab, tries to get to the edge. Jacob Parada out there making the stop for the Falcons after a short gain, picks up 3.
This is something that Nick Fairless has done really all year. Pretty vanilla with the play calling here early in this game. Get the guys involved. It's a rivalry game. Get them some quick completions and just continue to move the ball down the field.
Well, we'll call it a pickup of 2, so 2nd and 8. Eckert throws complete to Williams. He's got some blockers up to the 45, and that's going to be close to another Neshaminy first down. Needed 8 and got 8 yards to move the sticks.
Neshaminy has a first down at the Pennsbury 35-yard line.
And a good job on the outside there, Jordan, of getting some blocking from some of the wide receivers and skill position guys.
Yeah, if you're going to be a team that's going to throw as many wide receiver screens as Neshaminy does, your wide receivers, they've got to be able to block for whoever's got the football.
There's Williams in motion. Eckert turns that way. He's going to tuck it. Quarterback keeper. And the Falcons track him down after a gain of 4. Takes it up to the 31. As Neshaminy on the move, their opening drive of the night. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Again, a little bit of tempo here. Neshaminy quickly ready. Eckert gives it to Klee, and Klee bursting through a hole. He's up to the 15, inside the 15-yard line before being brought down, and picks up another Neshaminy first down on the move on their opening drive to the Pennsbury 12.
These two teams, Chris, very big up front. The trenches battle is going to be a very interesting one to watch all night. Advantage Neshaminy right there. They opened up a big hole for Carter Klee to run through.
And really mixing it up, a little run, a little pass. Eckert pulls it down, throws to Williams, but the pass off the mark, it's incomplete, and that stops the clock with 8:13 to go here in the first quarter tonight.
Yeah, this is one of the longest drives Pennsbury has given up all defensively in the last couple of weeks. They've been a stout defense that's getting a lot of 3-and-outs, and even if they've given up a couple first downs, they've been able to get a stop. So first time they've seen an opponent in their own red zone.
Now on 2nd and 10, Eckert fakes the handoff, tucks it away, will take it down to the 5-yard line. That's a pickup of 8 yards. And makes it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Eckert, he's your prototypical dual threat quarterback. He could do it both through the air and on the ground. In the run game, he struggled a bit these last few weeks, and so have the Skins. Good to see him, if you're a Neshaminy fan, be able to get those legs moving here early.
3rd and 3. Eckert on the option, flips it out to Carter Klee. Klee into the end zone for a Neshaminy touchdown. Carter Klee from 4 yards out gets the pitch from Eckert and puts Neshaminy on the scoreboard.
How about that for an opening drive, taking it right to this Pennsbury defense that Gus, like you mentioned, has been so stout all season long. Neshaminy didn't really need the big play on that drive, and the touchdown right there, Neshaminy fans will remember last week, that was one of their turnovers, a botched pitch play. Carter Klee able to handle it this time and takes it in for 6.
The extra point is good. 7-0. Neshaminy in front after a 68-yard drive to start tonight's game.
Yeah, touchdown scored right there on a 3rd down. First 3rd down of that whole drive. So Neshaminy, multiple first downs on that drive, able to get him in the 1st and down area, 1st and 2nd down area to advance more. Not even seeing a lot of 3rd downs. It just goes to show you how well they're able to move the ball against Pennsbury.
Yeah, an impressive look there. Neshaminy mixing up the offense with some throws, some running attack, and they move it down the field to jump in front. Tonight's game on WBCB brought to you by Galaxy Landscaping. Time to get your lawn looking out of this world with Galaxy Landscaping. Whether you need annual mowing throughout the season or an overall uplift to your home's landscape, Galaxy Landscaping can do it all. Garden care, mulch install, trimming and pruning. The Galaxy Landscaping team ready to give you great service at an affordable price. Call Pennsbury alumni Matt and Sean. Book Galaxy at 267-842-5299 for all of your lawn care needs. A squib kick that is picked up by Depew, and he'll have a short return, but it ends up being really good field position for the Pennsbury Falcons. They'll start their opening drive at their own 40-yard line.
And like we said last week, finally starting to use Luke Bagley. We haven't seen him at all in the offensive position. Then last week against Abington, Ghost gets thrown in at running back and has an absolute monster game.
What do you make of that kick, Jordan? Was that an intentional squib?
Yeah, Busick not one to kick it deep a whole lot. I think the weather might be playing a factor in some of the special teams today, though, with how cold it is down there.
Aren't a pitch out, and it's fumbled. The Falcons have to fall on it. Luke Bagley couldn't handle the football initially, and it's a 2-yard loss for the Falcons on their first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, well, you're going to see things like that when you have a running back that hasn't played running back all year. Like we said, only one game at that position last week in a huge game. So there's still going to be some learning curves and some pre-game jitters.
Yeah, ripped off 5 touchdowns last week against Abington, but playing against a whole different defense, a whole different level here in this big rivalry matchup against Neshaminy. 2nd and 12. They'll pitch it out on the other side to Bagley, and he crosses the 40 up to the 41, picks up 4, but leaves the Falcons looking at a 3rd and 9. And Neshaminy hoping for a 3-and-out and to get the football right back.
Chris, right there, that's what Pennsbury likes to do. Those quick tosses, run it off tackle. These defensive ends, Corey Kenoy-Webb, Lucas Stewart, Owen Schwartz, they're going to have to be alert all night long for the Skins on defense.
David Kane in with the play for the Falcons. Everybody in tight on what might be considered a passing down here on 3rd and long. Arndt sets him down and up the gut to Caden Brown, and he squirts through, powers forward across the 50, picks up 9 and a Falcon first down.
Yeah, we're wondering if Coach Snyder's going to pull out any kind of special plays or maybe optical illusions in this game, and that's one right there. Great fake by Arndt to give it to Caden Brown, let him go right up the gut. Everybody thought he was going with the sweep run, which Pennsbury loves to do, and there was a big first down there. That was 3rd and long, too. Situation, run right up the middle, gutsy, but able to pay off for Pennsbury.
Yeah, Falcons sticking to the ground game and a little deception there. They move it up to the 48 of Neshaminy. And Arndt fakes the handoff to Brown, tries to get to the edge, but not going to be able to get out there. Brought down on the play by Dan McGarity. The junior able to secure the edge, and it's a tackle for a loss. Falcons are set back now a 2nd and 5, or 2nd and 15, pardon me, for Pennsbury.
Yeah, Dan McGarity is a guy that's really come on strong here in the second half of the season. Nick Fearless made an adjustment with him and his positioning on the defense as the season has gone along. He started out as a strong safety and still gets some reps at safety, but he's been coming down into the box a whole lot more in the second half, getting some run at the linebacker position as well, and his numbers are certainly showing his productivity.
The Neshaminy defense trying to make a statement, and there they stuff the run. Falcons continue to push forward. They're trying to make something out of nothing. Luke Bagley with the handoff, and he gets them close to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like 3rd and 11. So another 3rd and long for the Falcons on their opening drive.
Yeah, and if you're Pennsbury, of course, these are the down and distances you would like to avoid. They were able to convert on their last 3rd and long, looking to do it again right here. On the flip side, Skins defense winning first down and winning second down. That's going to be the key to success.
We'll see here if they take to the air. Arndt sets him down. No, a little bit of a reverse. Ciola will pull it down. He was looking downfield like he wanted to throw the football, but he's brought down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, looks like the guy he wanted to had was either getting held or something was going on, because flags thrown near the line of scrimmage. Ciola immediately pointing where the flags was thrown. Looks like maybe he wanted to throw to somebody who was holding, and that's exactly what they're going to call there.
Well, on the play for Neshaminy, Dan McGarity was in there, but that good play negated by the hold called on the Redskins.
It's been one of the problems for Neshaminy at times this season is the penalties. They really struggled with it the first couple of weeks, got it figured out over the next 2 weeks as we went into September. But really these last 4 or 5 games, Chris, it's been about anywhere between 6 and 10 penalties per game, and those are the ones that you really don't like if you're a head coach. So on 3rd and long, Pennsbury tries the trick play, and they get Neshaminy for the holding downfield.
All right, officials talking this one over. I think after they mark off the penalty, it still will remain 3rd down, and the Falcons will be a couple of yards short of a first down.
Yeah, it's going to look like it's going to be 3rd and maybe 1.
Yeah, they'll mark it at the 39-yard line. Defensive holding on Neshaminy. So Falcons kind of getting bailed out, but how about that razzle-dazzle? Bagley to Ciola, who was looking downfield for receivers.
Like we said, Snyder's pulling out anything and everything for this classic rivalry game.
Falcons set it down, give to Bagley up the middle, and brought down after a short gain play made by Neshaminy captain Milo Makes. That's enough for a Falcon first down.
And after the Falcons, these are the drives that you really want to see eat up a lot of clock and result in 6 points. It's been an offense that's been much maligned the entire season, but they've picked up a couple of first downs into Neshaminy territory. You don't know how many of these opportunities you're going to get.
And here the give is to Bagley. Bagley squeezing through a tiny little hole, but a nice pickup by the Pennsbury running back up to the 34-yard line.
And for an offense that's really been trying to find their spark ever since they lost their star player, Jordan Brenzinger, it looks like they finally have found something. Luke Bagley, we said last week, a really good debut game at that running back spot. Now he's just churning yards here in this drive and really helping Pennsbury get multiple first downs and get into plus territory.
Yeah, and a spark can lead to an explosion, and we saw Bagley go off in that way last week. Here the give to Caden Brown. He's got a hole up the middle. He gets cut down after he crosses the 30. I believe that was Sassano who made the stop.
And I think it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, the Falcons here on the move on their opening drive tonight. 2:20 and counting as the clock winds down in the first quarter.
Wonder, Chris, if Luke Bagley's a guy who makes Caden Brown feel a lot more comfortable. He gets to settle into that backup running back role. You saw him score the touchdown last week, and he's had 2 good runs to start today.
And here up the middle to the Pennsbury fullback, Caden Brown. And he gets thrown down on the play. Lucas Stewart making a statement out there.
It's a rivalry game, and you saw Lucas Stewart with a little extra physicality at the end of that hit. Stewart missed the first, he was injured in the first game of the season and then missed the next 3 to 4 weeks with injury. He was slotted back in mainly just as a tight end. He's a two-way player, and over these last 2 to 3 weeks, Chris, Nick Fairless and company getting him more ingratiated into this defense at that defensive end position.
Love that physicality, but that was right on the borderline of a potential personal foul. Got to make sure you're careful with that energy. Handoff to Bagley, and he picks up 3 to the 25 before he is flattened there by Milo Makes. Makes it 3rd and 7. Well, nothing easy on this drive for the Falcons. They've been forced into 3rd and long situations. And here 3rd and 7 from the 25. Certainly would think this is 4 down thinking for Coach Snyder, as Arndt in the gun gives it to Brown, and Caden Brown with running room and a first down up to the 15-yard line. And the Falcons are on the move, mixing it up here on their opening drive as we get down to under a half minute to go in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, 1 drive each, and Pennsbury hasn't even finished their first drive. We've already done the first quarter. Goes to show you that points are going to be at a premium tonight.
Well, that will bring us to the end of quarter number 1 in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Great to have you with us. Tonight's game brought to you in part by PIAA District 1. They're looking for officials for all sports. And if you're interested, you can visit PIAA.org for more info. Again, that's PIAA.org if you're interested in becoming an official. PIAA District 1 wishing all student athletes the best of luck on the field and in the classroom. And thanks to Kramer's Bakery in Yardley, baking things great since 1946. Handmade baked goods made fresh daily on the premises. And Kramer's features custom cakes, dessert cakes with real fruit, cheesecakes, Danish, pastry, their own fresh donuts, muffins, and more, including fresh bread and rolls. Kramer's Bakery, also with dessert trays, perfect for the office, corporate affairs, or gifts, breakfast trays, cookie trays, and more. Kramer's at 14 East Afton Avenue in Yardley, open Monday 9 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday 7 to 7, and on Sundays are open 7 to 6. Remember, everything baked fresh on the premises at Kramer's Bakery. So the Falcons start the second quarter with a first down. And Bagley and Brown in the backfield. The handoff to Caden Brown, spins out of one tackle inside the 10-yard line, and that's a pickup of 8 on first down. Falcons were able to convert a couple of 3rd and longs, a 3rd and 9, and then got bailed out with a Neshaminy defensive holding call, which has helped extend this drive and have the Falcons knocking on the door. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Great to have you with us.
Redskin 8-yard line.
As the Falcons looking to get on the scoreboard, the give is to Bagley, and Bagley blasting his way into the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown. The Falcons also scoring on their opening drive. And with 11:08 to go in the second quarter, we got a good one brewing here on a Friday night.
Yeah, and a great coming out debut for Luke Bagley at the running back position, and he's just putting on right now, putting on his team and helping out get in the end zone.
And before the extra point, the try is blown dead as the Falcons want to talk it over and will take a timeout. Interesting. Are you thinking about maybe going for 2 or?
I'm not sure. I think one of the coaches upset, either some sort of misalignment or not enough guys or something. Somebody's not happy about something. It looks like the special teams coach is not happy. So I think it was just personnel issue or something miscommunication.
All right, so they'll reset personnel, and we'll see what they come up with out of this timeout. 20 minutes from Langhorne, a better Ford car and truck buying experience at Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33, Hamilton Township. Yeah, just some personnel issue, and again, they will try to add 1 off the foot of Angelo Pereira. And the snap is set down. The kick is good. And we are even 7-7 in the McCaffrey's game of the night. As Bagley back into the end zone. 6 touchdowns over the past couple of weeks for the new Pennsbury running back.
Yeah, and you hear the PA announcer say that was the 30th straight PAT made for Angelo Pereira dating back to last year.
Well, you can build a game-winning defense around your business. BAI Security, your local hometown security partner, protecting what matters most. 24/7 alarm monitoring, fire and burglar alarms, security camera, access control, and now fire protection, sprinklers, kitchen systems, and fire extinguisher services. Play smart and protected. BAI Security, protecting your business like a champion. Call 215-493-1414. Well, Pereira has it teed up, and congratulations in order for that streak of extra points. We knew he was an asset for Pennsbury coming into this season, but hasn't been given a ton of opportunities. But maybe catching a little bit of a rhythm here from last week and now into this week. Good start to this one. Neshaminy going the distance on their opening drive, and Pennsbury going 60 yards on their first touch of the football. Short angled kick. Sassano takes it at the 22. He's up to the 35-30. A nice return. The ball comes out, and it looks like Neshaminy is on top of the football. And it will be Neshaminy, 1st and 10 from their own 41.
That was certainly one heck of a response by Pennsbury on that last drive. The big key is they were 3 for 3 on 3rd down. Got some help with the penalty, of course, right around midfield. Talked about it in the pregame, talked about it yesterday on the show, Chris. Got to throw the records out the window sometimes. Falcons came to play, now Neshaminy looking to answer back.
Neshaminy looked pretty good on their first drive, and here they hit Sassano on a slant. The pass completed, and Mike Sassano up to the Neshaminy 45 It's a 5-yard pickup. Makes it 2nd and 5.
It's another easy drive starting play for Michael Eckert, Mike Sassano and company. Pick up those easy 5 yards. Sassano finds the soft spot in the zone.
And so many skilled pass catchers on this Neshaminy team. It's hard to mark everybody up. And here there's 4 receivers. Pressure for Eckert. Jones forces the throw. It's complete to Klee, and Carter Klee up across the 40 as he gets pushed out of bounds, picking up another big gain for Neshaminy and another first down.
That's where they like to get Carter Klee involved in the passing game. Those running back screens. Klee, a real physical guy. You give him that extra little boost, that extra push at the beginning of the play, get him moving downfield, and you see him deliver a big hit there at the end of the play. Carter Klee getting involved here to start this drive.
3 receivers to the near side for Eckert. And movement up front. I think the Falcons jumped. No, they're going to call it a false start. And it goes against Neshaminy, and we'll set them back 5.
Yeah, that'll be on the right tackle there. Riley Durnan, 335-pound right tackle. When he gets flinching, you're going to be able to see it.
So, yeah, 1st and 15 for Neshaminy with 10-11 to go in the second quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Looks like Neshaminy will stick with that same look, same formation. Eckert pulls it down, completes it to Williams. Williams cutting across the formation, but can't get away from Jackson Coons. And Jackson Coons, with that good backside integrity, makes the tackle.
Yeah, that's good persistence there from Coons. Brock Williams, you saw him try to make those cut moves. Very shifty if he can get into open space, and Coons did a good job sticking right with him, being able to wrap him up around the ankles and bring him to the turf.
So a gain of 1, 2nd and 14. Eckert, clean pocket, throws downfield and completes it to Brock Williams. Makes a couple of men miss up to the 25-20, and he'll be brought down there after another big pickup. Sean Beatty making the stop, and then after the play, a little extra intensity after the whistle with Jacob Parada. But that's another Neshaminy first down, and again, the Redskins on the move.
What did I just say? Brock Williams, when he gets into open space, he can be shifty. That was one of the better moves we've seen out of him all season long.
Great move, and ended up getting him wide open. Right now, Klee on the right of Eckert as Williams in motion. And they'll set up that screen again to Klee. Makes the grab down to the 10-5 and into the end zone. Carter Klee with the touchdown reception, and it's a 22-yard touchdown for the Neshaminy Redskins.
It's an excellent play call right there, Chris. You saw Brock Williams come across the formation. You get all the eyes looking that way. Of course, Williams had been the main focal point on that drive. They fake it to him, find Carter Klee leaking out the other side, and it was an easy walk-in touchdown for Klee.
Yeah, 31 touchdowns now for Eckert, and I believe that's 15 for Carter Klee as the extra point is through the uprights. 14-7, our score with 9:04 remaining in the second quarter. It's the McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Big thanks to all of our community partners, including Puss in Boots Tavern, a Fairless Hills landmark, and Puss in Boots supporting Pennsbury for decades. Before or after the games, stop at Puss in Boots for great food, great times. Watch all your favorite Philly sports teams at the Boot. Their outdoor patio now has TVs. Tuesdays are Taco Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Puss in Boots featuring their homemade meatloaf platters. Thursdays are Italian days. Fridays, they do their fun day specials. And Saturdays, Puss in Boots with their legendary $1 hot dogs all day. Sunday, they got the $1 chicken fingers, $6 cheesesteaks, shuffleboard, pool, cornhole, darts, and jukebox, all at the Boot. Puss in Boots open 7 days for lunch and dinner at 942 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills. Bagley back deep for the Falcons. It's another squib kick, and it's touched up, and a knee to the turf for McCartney. So the Falcons will start this drive at their own 25-yard line with 9:02 remaining in the first half.
Gotta believe the cold weather's playing a little bit of a factor on some of these kickoffs. That's the second time we've seen Busick kind of just roll it out there on that squib kick. Not something that we're really used to seeing out of Steven Busick on these kickoffs. Not necessarily a guy who's going to kick it deep all too often, but normally he keeps it in the air. And Chris, I know you and Gus, you guys are cozy to the right of me in the press box. I can report out here, it is chilly.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate you telling me.
Jordan's out there in the elements behind the camera, also helping to call the game tonight, pulling double duty as Jack Hart will pull this one down, toss it to the outside to Bagley. Bagley looked like he went down initially, refusing to go down, and he's going to at least get himself back to the original line of scrimmage. Looked like a potential loss for the Falcons on first down, but instead 2nd and 10.
That's what Luke Bagley provides for this Falcon offense, right? That physicality in the running game. Had to work hard just to make it 2nd down and 10, but he'll certainly take that over the 2-yard loss, which is what would have been the result if he wasn't able to stay on his feet.
You can see the Pennsbury Falcons kind of challenging the edge, the defenders for Neshaminy, and so far Neshaminy up to the challenge. It's been more of those inside rushes that have been successful with Caden Brown. And he gets the give, tries to run between the tackles, and a short gain. Heavy traffic in there as they pick up a couple and makes it 3rd and 8. Was that Ciola was in the backfield that time?
Huh.
So senior recognition, he gets
a senior
a handoff.
Yeah, senior handoff.
And grinds out a couple.
Is that like the offensive version of a senior send-off?
Yeah, I guess so. Senior recognition night, try to mix in those guys that have sacrificed for the program. All right, they fake the handoff to the first guy through, and not much there. Neshaminy stuffs that one on 3rd and long, and it'll make it 4th and 6, and this will force the Falcons to kick it away.
Yeah, that time the Neshaminy defensive line did a much better job handling those inside handoffs. We saw Lucas Stewart, one of the main guys in that pile. He's been one of the main guys on the defensive line really throughout this game so far. Stewart, a guy who's been coming on stronger and stronger as he continues to work his way back from that early season injury.
Nick Sassano back for Neshaminy to receive the kick, but the Redskins will call timeout. Stop the clock with 6:43 to go in the first half. Give us an opportunity to recognize all of the great community support we get for the Pennsbury Falcons and the Neshaminy Redskins on WBCB. Tonight we combine those broadcasts, and thanks to Yardley Family Haircutters, a full-service family barbershop with kids cuts, hair coloring, and shaves. Dave Wells and his family have been part of the community for over 50 years. Yardley Family Haircutters, a town institution. Call for an appointment at 215-321-6900. That's 215-321-6900. Yardley Family Haircutters. David Kane to punt for Pennsbury. Nick Sassano back to receive the kick. And it's a good one. End over end. Comes down at the 39. Sassano with an opportunity to return this one, and he does across the 50, up near the 40-yard line before he is brought down, and he sets Neshaminy up with great field position after the punt return. Where are they going to put it down? They'll put it down at the 41. And first down for the Neshaminy.
Looked like the Pennsbury punt coverage team was a little late getting down the field right there. Sassano was able to roam about 10 to 15 yards before he even saw a black jersey.
Yeah, also I think that was kind of a line drive type kick off the foot of Kane as Eckert will pull this one down, throw, and complete it out to Williams. Williams pushed out of bounds by Bagley after a gain of 4.
All these drive starting plays, they look a little different, but they're all getting the same result, either a wide receiver screen, their RPO option with Brock Williams coming over the middle, or if it's Mike Sassano sitting in a zone, all picking up short yardage gains with the goal of getting Neshaminy into these second and mediums.
Williams in motion, Klee with the handoff, and he's brought down by Bagley at the 35. And 3rd and 3 for Neshaminy.
Right, that's what that first play of this drive sets up. It allows you to give the football to your running back on second down, get yourself into a 3rd and manageable. Good job by Klee, keeping those legs moving, getting it to 3rd and 3.
Got to think this is 4-down thinking for Neshaminy too. Here they fake the give to Klee. Eckert rolls, throws, and looking for Williams. The ball was complete. It pops out, loose on the turf. A flag comes out as the play is blown dead. And I'm not sure if that was ever complete, but what a hit. Williams could not hold on because of the shot he took. And right there, Sean Beatty clapping. Seems like he likes what the officials are talking about and is encouraged with what he heard right there, which it would lead you to believe that it's a completion, a fumble, and the Pennsbury Falcons are on the ball.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to overturn it. There's no replay or anything like that, so it's whatever they call on the field, they're calling it. It looked like they called a fumble recovery by Pennsbury. There is a flag on the field, though. Don't know if it was during the recovery, before the fumble, or maybe something afterwards, but do have to look at that.
Illegal man downfield on Neshaminy. They'll decline that, and it's a 1st down for the Pennsbury Falcons.
Wow.
As they get a takeaway. They needed that. That Neshaminy possession started already on the Falcons side of the field.
You want to talk about a momentum swing right there, Chris. Neshaminy, they were able to get the stop, get the football back, have the big punt return. And the Falcons on defense, they're flying, are these Pennsbury Falcons. And this game has not lacked physicality, this rivalry game. These two teams very familiar with one another, and you're seeing it play out with some of these big-time hits.
Falcons need to come up with something that works on 1st and 2nd down. They've been pushed into these 3rd and long situations. Arndt from the gun. Looks out to the flat. Hits Kitcheman, who's tackled immediately by Sassano. And Dan McGarity also there. But it's a pickup of 6.
I think Arndt's got to get a little bit more zip on that ball.
Yeah, that looked a little dangerous.
Yeah, he was fortunate he had his receiver that wide open, but kind of just lobbed it in there. Mike Sassano, one of the top takeaway guys on this Neshaminy defense. You know he's going to be licking his chops if he gets another opportunity like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, a big target like Kitcheman. Here the give is to Bagley. Bagley weaving through heavy traffic across the 40 to the 42. And makes it 3rd and much more manageable. This is, I think, the best 3rd down situation for Pennsbury so far in this game.
Yeah, it's certainly the best that wasn't the result of a penalty. And that's one of the big battles that we've been paying attention to now through these first quarter and I'd say about 3/5, right? Is whoever gets the big time plays on 1st and 2nd down, whenever Pennsbury's on offense, that's who's going to have the advantage in this ground and pound style that Galen Snyder likes to run.
Everybody in tight, and offsides called against Neshaminy. So that'll give the Falcons a 1st down.
Huh. Usually you don't see them call the play dead for offsides, but they did, and 1st down, Pennsbury.
The 2nd time tonight, the Falcons were given a 1st down because of a Neshaminy penalty. Earlier in the 1st quarter, it was a defensive hold, which kept the Pennsbury drive, which resulted in their touchdown going.
Falcons have certainly been the more disciplined of the two teams so far. Haven't had a penalty called against them. Neshaminy now with, I believe that was number 5, and also the turnover.
4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. That time the handoff to Bagley, and he cannot get away from Owen Schwartz. Drops him behind the line of scrimmage. And it brings up 2nd and 14. Well, that's more of what we've seen throughout the first half, that Neshaminy has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down against this Pennsbury offense and put them in 3rd and long situations. And they'll try to do that again on a 2nd and 14. Ciola here on the near side wing. They drop back. Arndt looked like he was looking for Ciola. The pocket collapses, and he is sacked on the play. Owen Schwartz in there for Neshaminy, along with D.L. Corey. Yeah, Corey Kenoy Webb. And it makes it 3rd and forever.
Neshaminy takes the timeout, and Chris, this Neshaminy defensive line, simply because of the opponents they've been going up against the last few weeks, haven't had the sack numbers that we were used to seeing back from the first half of the season. They've been playing a lot more run-heavy teams. Owen Schwartz, Corey Kenoy Webb, those have been the 2 main sack guys on this defensive line. And whenever those two are combining for a sack, like you saw right there, pretty much impossible for Jack Arndt to escape that.
Yeah, we'll give him each a half a sack on that one. And with the timeout now open on Business Route 1 in Lawrence Township, the region's newest showroom for garage doors, entry doors, and windows, Jammer Doors. 2480 Brunswick Pike, opposite the Lawrence Shopping Center, is the New Jersey and Bucks County's premier new showroom for garage doors, including Raynor garage doors, Jammer Doors, featuring entry doors, patio and storm doors, garage doors and windows, and Jammer, a family-run local business for over 100 years, and we appreciate their support of high school football on WBCB. Time for Jack Arndt, looking downfield for Aiden Kitcheman, and it's incomplete. Sassano there defensively for Neshaminy, but not enough sideline over there for Kitcheman. And makes it 4th and 22. And David Kane back out to kick it away.
That was good coverage by Sassano, squared right there. Nick Sassano with the sticky coverage down the field. Mike Sassano giving some safety help over the top.
Now with Nick back to receive this spiraling kick, a good one from Kane, but also returnable at the 30, up to the 35, and the flags come out. There's going to be a block in the back as Ciola took a shot from Dan McGarity, and that will set Neshaminy back 15 yards.
I don't think it's going to be any secret what the message is going to be from Nick Fairless in the locker room in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's going to be clean up the penalties. Neshaminy continuing to play this undisciplined style of football, and now you've seen it on all 3 sides, on offense, on defense, and now for the first time there on special teams.
Well, that will set the Redskins back. Again, thanks to Jammer Doors and all of the great community support for high school football on WBCB. And now open their new showroom at 2480 Brunswick Pike. All right, so 1st and 10 for Neshaminy from their own 19. Their worst field position to start a drive tonight. And it's a quick completion. Again, that drive starter this time out to David Liberty. And Liberty up to the 25.
Yeah, David Liberty, he's been used few and far between, one of the younger guys on this Neshaminy offense. But you're right, Chris. It's the name of the game for Neshaminy. Quick plays on these first downs. Get the drive started, play from ahead of the sticks.
And another quick throw. This time, Carter Klee out of the backfield trucks one of the Pennsbury defenders as he goes out of bounds, picking up a Neshaminy first down. A little tone setter physicality there. That was LaRue Madison who took the shot. And Neshaminy up to the 32.
Carter Klee doesn't care if it's a rivalry game or if it's week 0 against a team from out of the county. He's going to be bringing the physicality no matter who he's going against.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't care if it's practice. As Eckert looks downfield and throws to Nick Sassano, completes the pass. Big play for Neshaminy up to the 25 of Pennsbury. Matt McCartney was there. The coverage was there, but the ball in the perfect spot for senior receiver Nick Sassano.
He couldn't have put it better in the breadbasket right there. Had the arm in there and was fighting the DB but just a beautiful ball. Couldn't get that out of his hands.
Now Eckert pulls it down, looks downfield. He's going to tuck it away, and he'll head out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. And Neshaminy inside the red zone with under 2 to go in the first half.
Yeah, and Chris, just going back to that last play real quick, the deep ball to Nick Sassano, that was the pass that Michael Eckert wasn't able to make last week. He was overthrowing a lot of his receivers on deep balls. If you're a Neshaminy fan, you like to see him drop it in the breadbasket like the bus just called it.
Yeah, very impressive connection right there. And he'll tuck this one away. And on the quarterback keeper, he crosses the 15 and picks up another Neshaminy first down. So a short gain there, but picks up a fresh set of downs. And the clock continues to move, getting down to the minute-and-a-half mark. Williams and Klee flanking Eckert. And he's going to tuck this one away. Across the 5, he loses the football. It's fumbled into the end zone, and the Pennsbury Falcons recover it for a touchback. Another Neshaminy turnover, another Pennsbury takeaway. That time Eckert looking to get all that he could, maybe a little extra effort at the end of that play, and that was just enough for the ball to come loose and the Falcons to take over from their own 20.
And turnover problems just continuing to plague the Neshaminy Skins now. The last 2 weeks, it was such a great drive going all the way down the field. Eckert, I think he had his sights a little too set on the end zone. Could have just gone down inside the 5. Neshaminy would have had plenty of time. I think he got a little too greedy there, and that extra reach at the end is where the football came out.
So with 1:19 to go before the break, the Falcons take over and hand off on first down. Pick up about 5 yards. And right now, I think they're going to be happy to try to burn the remainder of this clock. It will be the Falcons to get the football first in the second half. They won the coin flip and deferred to receive the kickoff to start the second half of play. As the clock dips under the 40-second mark, and Arndt hands off to Bagley. Bagley across the 25, pushes his way to the 26, and makes it 3rd and 3. Neshaminy, they'd have an opportunity to maybe take a timeout, but seems like they're also content with allowing the rest of this half to elapse and head to the locker room. Neshaminy holding a 14-7 advantage, and that's what we're going to do. We'll wrap up the first half of play in the McCaffrey's game of the night with the Neshaminy Redskins in front of the Pennsbury Falcons on senior recognition night, 14-7. It's halftime. We'll step aside, return to the field in just a little bit. We've got the Pennsbury Long Orange Line, the Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band set to perform. We'll also recap first half scoring, and hopefully we can share maybe some scores from some other games if we can. We got some more games on BCB, so we'll certainly update you on what's going on here with the Notre Dame Irish, who are in action tonight. All right, we're going to step aside. We'll be back to Falcon Field with Neshaminy in front 14-7.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Parents, are you looking for an athletic performance coach for your child with over 25 years of experience? Coaches, are you looking for a strength and conditioning coach that has coached youth to professional teams to record success? Your only choice is the Kalinowski Performance Academy. The Kalinowski Performance Academy is the area leader in personal, group, team academy prep, and return to play training. The Kalinowski Performance Academy believes that everyone should have an opportunity to be their best. Go to trainlikecal.com to be Cal's next success story. That's trainlikecal.com, spelled K-A-L.
Kent's Tree Service, right here in Lower Bucks County. 23 years of expert tree service, emergencies, 24/7 service, is your trusted professional for any tree service needs that you have. Kent's Tree Service, many years of experience successfully providing tree services here in Lower Bucks County and even parts of Montgomery County. Their whole team provides the utmost care when working on your property and are experts you can trust for any tree.
Welcome back to Falcon Field as the Long Orange Line getting their recognition, getting set to perform here on a Friday night. Thanks to Jammer Doors inviting you to the grand opening of their now open state-of-the-art showroom. Check it out at 2480 Brunswick Pike. Don't forget, if you miss any of the action here on WBCB tonight, you can read about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. All right, the drum major indicating that the band is ready to perform. Neshaminy in front 14-7 here at halftime as we go back to the field for the Long Orange Line. All right, another great performance from the Pennsbury Falcon Marching Band, the Long Orange Line. It's halftime with Neshaminy in front 14-7 in the McCaffrey's Game of the Night. Tonight's game on WBCB brought to you by Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC, it's a year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras. 20% off MSRP on Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras, and Buicks offered at 0.9% financing and up to $3,000 off MSRP. Extraordinary savings at Peruzzi Buick GMC on Sierras and Buicks during this year-end clearance. Again, 20% off MSRP on Sierras and 0.9% financing on Buicks, plus $3,000 off MSRP. Peruzzi Buick GMC, Business Route 1, Fairless Hills, where our business is you. We get such great community support from the Yardley community, and big thanks to Brian Rogers at Yardley Pharmacy. Proud to serve our community and proud to be bringing you portions of tonight's game as the Pennsbury Falcons come back out to start to get warmed up for the second half. Brian Rogers, a hometown community leader and pharmacist who goes out of his way to help his customers, making sure you understand everything about your medications, will answer any of your questions, including insurance questions. Yardley Pharmacy, owned by Brian Rogers, and no one going to give you better service than an owner-operated business like Yardley Pharmacy. Avoid the big chains, stay local with people who are there every day and know you. Yardley Pharmacy offers medical equipment as well at 175 South Main Street in Yardley. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 6:30. Saturdays open 9 to 2, and delivery is available. Well, Neshaminy with a couple of touchdowns. They got on the scoreboard first, scoring with 7:36 to go in the first quarter. A 4-yard touchdown run from Carter Klee, extra point good. So Neshaminy up 7-0 after their opening drive was successful. And then the Falcons' answer took them a little bit to get into the end zone, but with 11:08 to go in the second quarter, they capped off a 60-yard touchdown drive with an 8-yard Luke Bagley TD. Extra point good, making it 7-7 at that point. And then with 9:04 to go in the second quarter, a passing touchdown. Eckert hitting Carter Klee, and he goes into the end zone from 22 yards out. Neshaminy connecting on the extra point to make it 14-7, and that is where we are at. A couple of costly Neshaminy turnovers in the first half, and the Pennsbury Falcons will receive the second half kickoff, but one of those turnovers looked like came as Neshaminy was about to go into the end zone. So they got to clean that up. Also some penalties costly tonight for Neshaminy. And again, the Falcons will receive the kickoff when we get back to action. 20 minutes from Langhorne, a better Ford car and truck buying experience at Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33, Hamilton Township. All right, the Neshaminy Redskin historians told me before this game that this, by their estimation, is their 1,000th game in Neshaminy football history. So kind of a milestone tonight for Neshaminy, and why not cap off all those games with one against your biggest rival.
It's only fitting that it comes against Pennsbury to have your 1,000th game against your biggest rival.
Well, and the first half has lived up to the rivalry hype as the teams go back and forth. A couple of big plays for Pennsbury to force those turnovers. And we're going to step aside. We'll return to action and return to the field in just a moment as we've got the second half coming up. McCaffrey's Game of the Night on the WBCB Sports Network.
McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Market. tickets online or the app and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Market's in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
A proud supporter of Neshaminy Skins high school football on WBCB Sports is the N Club. Don't forget to visit the snack stand at the game tonight for some yummy treats and show your Neshaminy pride. Check out the Pride Wear tonight for all of your merchandise. And a special thank you to our sponsors: Chick-fil-A Neshaminy, Automotive Training Center, Bailey's Bar and Grill, Code 3 Records Artist Services, Fireside Inn, First National Bank of Newtown, Frank Ferry, JJKL Construction LLC, Patient First, Sandy's Beef and Ale, and Travel Services by Tiffany.
Welcome back to Falcon Field, where the Pennsbury Falcons trail Neshaminy 14-7 as we get back to action, and the Falcons set to receive the opening kickoff. At half, Jordan, you were talking about a Neshaminy stat, one of the biggest stats when it comes to the results of football games can be the turnover differential. And Neshaminy with a couple of turnovers in the first half. And I don't know, you were saying with 2 turnovers, they've had that's been the key to some of the losses they've had.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. Neshaminy this season, when turning the ball over 2 or more times, they're 0-3. They're undefeated when they turn it over 1 or fewer at 6-0. Of course, those 2 first-half turnovers, they've got this 14-7 halftime lead. Pennsbury looking to keep that trend going for Neshaminy, and the Skins looking to break it. 24 minutes to decide this one.
All right, Busick has it teed up, got the whistle, and it's another low squibbing kick picked up at the 20 by McCartney. Heads to the far side of the field after crossing the 30 and will be brought down at the 35. So Pennsbury will start their first drive of the second half at their own 35-yard line. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. Thanks to PIAA District 1 helping to power portions of today's game. They're looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org. Sophomore quarterback Jack Arndt under center, hands it to Bagley, and Bagley going nowhere. Might have lost a little bit. Yes, it's a loss of 2. And Carson Schneider in there for Neshaminy on the stop.
Was first half or second half starts how the first half ended. Neshaminy's defense doing a good job on first down.
Yeah, they did a good job on first and second down throughout the first half. A handoff this time to Caden Brown, and Brown spun down. Schneider again with the stop. This time it's a pickup of a few. Pick up about 4 to make it 3rd and 8.
Makes it a little bit more manageable, but if you're in Neshaminy, you're still happy with forcing Pennsbury back into this 3rd and 8. Falcons, they want to be playing 3rd and 5 or shorter.
Yeah, more of the same here. Neshaminy defense has played very well on first and second down throughout this game, forcing the Falcons into these 3rd and long situations. Here, 3rd and 8, Ciola in motion. And Arndt pulls it down, looks, hits Ciola with the pass, and Ciola spun down after the grab by Schneider, and the Falcons still will be a couple short of a first down, leaving them facing a 4th and 2. So decision time for Coach Schneider, and it seems like he's inclined to leave the offense out there.
Yeah, a game like this, rivalry game against Neshaminy, nothing to lose, right? This is the final game of the season for Pennsbury. No reason not to go for it right here.
I don't know. This is pretty risky, though. Long time to pick what they're going to do, and they send David Kane in with the play. Falcons going for it on 4th down. Again, Ciola, the motion man. And before the snap, the play blown dead, false start on the Falcons. So there you go to 4th and 7 instead of 4th and 2. And now they will have Kane kick it away.
Man, for as disciplined as Pennsbury was in that first half, didn't commit a penalty through the first 24 minutes. That is not a great spot to have the first flag thrown against you right there.
Nick Sassano back to receive for the Skins.
Nick Sassano to receive the punt. And Kane kicks it from the 29, angles it to the far sideline. It goes out of bounds. Nice job, as they'll say it went out at the 30. And Neshaminy will take over from their own 30-yard line. Well, again, 20 minutes from Langhorne, a better Ford car and truck buying experience. Haldeman Ford, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. More selection, better price on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and award-winning service. Haldeman Ford, Route 33, Hamilton Township. That's Klee, the motion man. They fake the handoff. Eckert's going to tuck it away, cross the 40, pick up a Neshaminy first down.
First down, tripped up by Beatty from
And
the
a nice pickup there, tackle made by Sean Beatty.
From the Skin 43-yard line.
So a big Neshaminy pickup, and they're right back to the line of scrimmage, playing with some tempo. Eckert again fakes the handoff, throws, it's complete on the slant. As first reception tonight for Lucas Stewart. Pick up a 5.
Lucas Stewart had himself a nice game the last time these two teams met. 3 catches, 49 yards last season at Heartbreak Ridge.
This place is rocking tonight. The press box moving around a little bit. All the Falcon fans, again, faking the handoff. Eckert will keep it. He's going to push his way forward and pick up a Neshaminy first down. Tackled by Jackson Coons. But that'll be enough for a fresh set of downs for the Redskins.
Yeah, and I don't really like how the press box is moving like it is. Because it is jumping right now in the bleachers.
Well, we got a packed house here on the home side, supporting the Falcons as Eckert throws over the middle, and it's deflected, incomplete. Was looking for Nick Sassano. Luke Bagley was right there, almost came up with the interception.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised pass there from Eckert, throwing it into double coverage like that. He's lucky that he's going to get the football back. Luke Bagley probably had the best shot at that out of any of the 4 players that were in that little scrum.
And then that ball was kind of tipped, or who knows where it might have ended up. So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. And here they'll hand off to Carter Klee. Klee runs into the arms of sophomore John Zurich.
One thing that Carter Klee has done a real nice job of, he hasn't been used a whole lot today, but he's done a good job of whenever he's gotten the football, he's recognizing where the hole in the offensive line is. You see him kind of slow up, make that jump cut there, bounce between the left tackle and the left guard, and pick up those 5 yards.
Yeah, waits for that play to set up as Eckert drops back. Throws to Williams, and it's off of him, incomplete. Williams nearly able to grab it, but then as it squirted out of his arms, thought one of the Pennsbury defenders was right there near it as well. Brings up 4th and 5.
And decision time now for the Skins, as it looks like they're keeping their offense out on the field.
Yeah, Fairless going to leave the offense out there. 3 receivers here to the near side for Eckert. Looking to that side of the field, throws up high, and it's brought in by Sassano. Michael Sassano with a great grab. I thought there was too much on that throw, but a diving reception. And the Neshaminy Redskins have it up to the 25 and another 1st and 10. Wow.
Mike Sassano made that exact same catch a few weeks ago in the final drive against Penridge for Neshaminy. It was called back because of a penalty, but that was literally the exact same route. Very similar spot on the field as well, and Sassano brings it in again.
Not only does he make the grab, but he stays in bounds somehow. Pressure on Eckert. They set up that screen to Carter Klee. They're trying to pursue him from the backside, but he's up to the 10-yard line and won't go down as he picks up another Neshaminy first down and a 1st and goal as he is inside the 10-yard line.
Well, because of Carter Klee's legs, the Falcons have to stack the box as well as with Michael Eckert's legs. Falcons have to defend against that as well, and that's allowed that simple screenplay to be there really all game long. And Carter Klee is going to end up with more receiving yards and rushing yards in this game, but he's doing most of the work.
Already with a receiving touchdown, and now he receives the handoff, but Jackson Coons brings him down. Jackson Coons and John Zurich. Good defense up front. Makes it 2nd and goal. And a loss of a couple there marks it back to the 11-yard line.
That time it's the Falcons doing a good job on 1st down, making it 2nd down and long here.
Williams moves alongside of the QB for Neshaminy, takes the handoff and gets pushed out of bounds. I believe that's McCardle over there. Stepped up and make the stop at the 10.
Second time we've seen Brock Williams take a handoff in this game. That time the Falcons defense much more attentive and alert.
So now 3rd and goal. And I don't know if Falcons make a stop. Would Neshaminy opt for 3 here? Eckert pulls it down, throws into the end zone, wide open. It's Mike Sassano for a Neshaminy touchdown. And they extend the lead. It's 20-7 with 5:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And as good of a defensive series as that was for Pennsbury, getting the stop on 1st down, getting the stop on 2nd down, forcing Neshaminy to operate in a 3rd and long, blown coverage at a real inopportune time for the Falcons. And I'll tell you what, Chris, I've gotten an opportunity to watch Neshaminy really this entire season. Mike Sassano finds himself wide open in the end zone more than just about any player I've seen.
Busick adds the extra point, 21-7. Neshaminy in front in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Yeah, and he found himself wide open right there, and Michael Eckert put it right between the numbers for his 2nd touchdown pass here of the night. Well, tonight's game brought to you by Yardley Family Haircutters, a full-service family barbershop, kids cuts, hair coloring, and shaves. Dave Wells and the family been part of the community for over 50 years. Yardley Family Haircutters, a town institution. Call for an appointment at 215-321-6900. That's 215-321-6900. Yardley Family Haircutters. Thanks also to Kramer's Bakery in Yardley, baking things great since 1946. Everything baked fresh right on the premises at 14 East Afton Avenue in Yardley. Busick's kick picked up by McCartney, and McCartney cut down after a short return, crosses the 30 up to the 32, and that's where the Falcons will take over. And a critical drive coming up for Pennsbury right now. They need to respond to the Neshaminy touchdown, extending it to a 14-point advantage.
Wonderful to see more Caden Brown in this drive right here. Brown has had the better night of the 2 backs. Of course, Luke Bagley has the touchdown, but Brown's been the guy that they've gone to when they need those chunk plays, and Pennsbury's got to be able to move the ball down the field right here.
Here, Arndt will drop back, look to throw. The pocket breaks down, and he is brought down. Lucas Stewart with a sack. And drops him back to the 26.
Pennsbury tries to catch the Neshaminy Skins defense off guard, throwing it on first down for, I believe, the first time in this game. They wanted to try a pass on a first down play, and Lucas Stewart continuing to come along. He was not fooled at all and was able to wrap up Arndt for the loss.
Yeah, no time for Jack Arndt to get that play going. Here he gives to Caden Brown. A flag comes out, tackle made by Corey Kenoy Webb. But we'll see, typically a flag in this area is a hold. And right now the Falcons already behind the sticks. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. McCaffrey's game of the night on WBCB. It is holding on the Falcons. Chris Ermer with Gus the Bus Barber and Jordan Hirsch. Great to have you with us tonight as we wrap up the regular season. And the holding call will be declined since they're already looking at a 3rd and long. So instead of replaying 2nd down, they'll say 3rd and 17, good enough. And with a stop here, Neshaminy take this ball right back. Neshaminy coming off of a loss last week to CB South, and now Arndt again drops back, has some time, lets it rip, and it's incomplete, but a flag comes out. This is either a hold or a defensive pass interference. I think that was intended for Ciola, and he was knocked off of his route.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the defensive PI here on Dan McGarity. Officials talking it over, but Ciola hit the deck.
Yeah, Fearless over there stating his case, but it's going to fall on deaf ears, and it is pass interference on Neshaminy.
Another penalty in an inopportune time. Second time the Skins have been penalized when defending a 3rd and long play. And while it won't bring up a first down, it sets them up in 3rd and 1, which is the exact same scenario we saw back in the first quarter on that Pennsbury touchdown drive.
Even 3rd and short, no gimme against this tough Neshaminy defense. But the Falcons like this scenario much better as Arndt under center sets him down and motion before the snap. This time against Neshaminy, they were offsides. So that will give the Falcons a first down and mark it up across the 45.
And look, coming into this game, I don't think it was any surprise. Neshaminy, the better team on paper, but oftentimes when you see teams maybe that don't necessarily have quite the talent level pull upsets like this, which the Falcons still very much in position to do, trailing by only 14 here in the third, it's because the other team will shoot themselves in the foot a little too often. That's what you're seeing Neshaminy do. 2 turnovers, 1 deep in the red zone, and just a lot of penalties, mostly coming on 3rd down.
Makes it 1st and 10. The handoff to Bagley, trying to weave through traffic, step through tacklers, but eventually he is converged on by a host of Redskin defenders and brought down after a short gain. I think they're going to say his forward progress might have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. So he doesn't pick up a thing. Makes it 2nd and 10.
Correction on that. We'll call it 2nd and 10.
And the clock no friend for the Falcons as they're down a couple of scores. And still a lot of football left, but under the 3:30 mark in the third quarter. And now Arndt directing traffic. Look, somebody's in the wrong spot. Hitchman over there, not sure what he's talking about. And Arndt looking that way, throws this one up in the air, and it's intercepted. Mike Sassano with the INT. And Neshaminy with a turnover.
He picks up his
He was looking for Kitcheman. There was some pre-snap confusion as to where Kitcheman was going. Maybe that was just Art trying to signal to his receiver, but a little too much air under that one. And Mike Sassano is also a guy who can make a play on the ball, and he comes up with one right there.
Yeah, Mike Sassano, sorry, Gus. He's the team leader in interceptions, and you see why. You talk about, Chris, on the offensive side of things, these Neshaminy wide receivers so good in the catching game, able to bring in a lot of these passes, and you see it translate over on defense as well.
Fakes the handoff. Eckert tucks it away up to the 40, 45, 50. He's going to be pushed out of bounds by McCartney, but after another explosive rush by the Neshaminy QB. Don't forget, if you missed tonight's action, read about it in tomorrow's Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. And again, Neshaminy with this tempo, Jordan. Quickly back to work. And quickly snapping the football. A throw out to the flat, intended for Williams, and couldn't quite haul it in. It's incomplete.
Yeah, just real quick on that last play, Michael Eckert, this is the most we've seen him use his legs really in the last 3 or 4 games, and this is the best he has looked as well. Has some real good explosiveness, and he's been able to rip off some really nice runs.
One thing that's impressive to me tonight, Jordan, is how Neshaminy is mixing everything together. They got the mid-range passing game. They got the short throws, a little Carter Klee mixed in, the screen game. As Eckert drops back, he's got time, looks over the middle, intended for Sassano, but the throw off the mark there, incomplete.
It's one that Michael Eckert would probably like to have back. He could have fallen asleep in the pocket. That's how good the offensive line was at protecting him right there, and then just underthrew Mike Sassano, who was open on that deep cross.
And this is, what you see from Neshaminy throughout this season. They do mix up the offense, and they keep it 2-3 dimensional. Now 3rd and 10. Certainly seems like this would be 4-down thinking for Coach Fairless from this spot on the field. Williams in motion. Eckert tucks it away and heads upfield across the 30 and gets up to about the 27 and leaves a 4th and 6 here for Neshaminy to figure out what to do with.
Well, that play was called with the sole purpose of knowing you're going to go for it on 4th down. And you see Eckert make that little cut move right there. When he's at his best in the running game, he's juking out defenders down the field. Wasn't quite able to get around the linebacker right there, but you could tell he's feeling it a little bit.
With Klee on his right side, moves a man in motion and now throws complete to Sassano, who's into the end zone for Neshaminy. The 3rd touchdown pass tonight for Michael Eckert. This time a 31-yard connection, and that extends the Neshaminy lead to 27-7 with 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
That time Mike Sassano just beat his man down the field. Eckert does an excellent job locating him. That's not an easy throw right there. Middle of the field, outside the near numbers, and Eckert looks like he's exercised all those inaccuracy demons from last week.
Yeah, Neshaminy building up some momentum, some energy for their postseason run. And Busick with an opportunity to add one more. He does. And 28-7 as we come back up the field in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Neshaminy in front of Pennsbury. Well, the fastest growing, the most awarded local owned and operated car wash in Lower Bucks is Junior's Express Car Wash right near Pennsbury High School at the corner of New Falls Road and Hood Boulevard. Junior's Express, owned by a Pennsbury graduate who's proud to support his alma mater. Join Junior's Express Car Wash's rewards program and get a free $20 car wash. Take advantage of discounted monthly packages and free vacuums. Junior's Express Car Wash open Monday through Saturday from 7 to 7. Saturdays open 8 to 7 at the corner of New Falls Road and Hood Boulevard. And also got a spot down there at 2270 Bristol, Oxford Valley Road in Levittown. Thanks to Di Lorenzo's The Berg Pizza, just down the road on New Falls Road, down the street from Pennsbury High School. The Berg Pizza, the mustard pie, the original Trenton tomato pie at Di Lorenzo's. As Busick with a short, squibby kick, and Depew will make sure to secure it for the Falcons. And some decent field position for them with just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. But with the exception of that one successful drive, the offense has been held in check by Neshaminy. And they need to figure out some kind of formula that's going to work and make something happen on this drive of the football. Arndt sets him down, gives to to Brown. And Brown picks up a couple. Moves it up to the 40-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Falcons pick up a couple on the play there out to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 on the Falcon 40-yard line.
After the game, Jordan will head down to the field, talk with our Neshaminy player of the game. Big thanks to 9th Street on Main and to Di Lorenzo's for their support of our post-game interviews. Ciola, the motion man, and offsides. False start. So this one goes against the Falcons. And we'll put him in a familiar spot tonight, again, behind the sticks. And that's tough to account for. Tough to make up for when you have a ground game that's picking up a few yards here, maybe a couple of chunk plays. But it's been a while since we've seen one of those 9-yard pickups. And timeout taken by the Falcons with 43.6 on the third quarter clock. And we'll step aside. Return to the field in just a little bit on the WBCB Sports Network.
Winter weather is near, and 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning of Bucks County will make sure your home is ready for any harsh winter conditions. Whether it's heater replacement, repair, boilers, or furnaces, their top-notch service will make sure you'll never be left out in the cold with 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning of Bucks County. Call them today, 267-606-1622. That's 267-606-1622 for 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning of Bucks County. Your trusted heating and cooling expert in Bucks County for over 30 years. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. 267-606-1622.
Welcome back to Falcon Field, Peruzzi Buick GMC, where our business is you. Right now at Peruzzi Buick GMC, a year-end clearance sale on GMC Sierras. 20% off MSRP on Peruzzi's entire inventory of Sierras. Buicks offered at 0.9% financing and up to $3,000 off MSRP. Extraordinary savings. Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills, Peruzzi Buick GMC. On 2nd and long, they throw the football, but a little bit low and incomplete, intended for Caden Brown, and brings up 3rd and long.
Those are the passes you got to hit if you're Jack Arndt. Caden Brown would have had some space down that sideline and could have gotten it into a 3rd and medium, maybe even a 3rd and short scenario. Instead, you're back in 3rd and 13, and you become as one-dimensional, I guess, as a Pennsbury Falcon team can be if Neshaminy's thinking pass.
Yeah, and typically that one dimension is the run game for the Falcons. And that has not been able to get the traction that they've been looking for throughout this season. And so they've had their wheels spinning. Wow, it looked like somebody was moving before the snap, and this ball picked off by Sassano. He's streaking down the near sideline, 10-5 into the end zone for a pick six. Mike Sassano plucks it out of the air and takes it into the end zone. Neshaminy now up 34-7 with 27 seconds remaining in quarter number 3.
Mike Sassano was just reading the eyes of Arndt right there, and he broke on that football even before Arndt let it go. He was the only one who had an opportunity, and Sassano is certainly making his case, Chris, to be one of our players of the game. His third touchdown of the game and first on the defensive side of things.
And now Busick looking to add one more. Looking to add insult to injury here for this Pennsbury team.
That was also Neshaminy's first defensive touchdown of the season.
And the extra point is good, 35-7. Neshaminy extending their lead here in the McCaffrey's game of the night. A big thanks to Matt and Sean from Galaxy Landscaping. Get your lawn looking out of this world with Galaxy Landscaping. Whether you need annual mowing throughout the season or an overall uplift to your home's landscape, Galaxy Landscaping can do it all. Garden care, mulch install, trimming and pruning. The Galaxy Landscaping team ready to give you great service at an affordable price. Call Pennsbury alumni Matt and Sean. Book Galaxy Landscaping for all of your lawn care needs. Tonight, the McCaffrey's game of the night. By the way, McCaffrey's with a Crazy 8 sale coming up, a one-day sale on November the 1st. Check out some of these deals. Deli salads, $1.88 off per pound. They got Haagen-Dazs ice cream for $3.88. How about USDA Choice Fresh Ground Chuck for just $5.88 a pound? It's the Crazy 8 sale from McCaffrey's. One more, Hellman's Mayo, $4.88 for a 30-ounce jar. McCaffrey's Food Market's exceptional every day, and we thank them for supporting tonight's game on BCB. Busick, another low squibber, picked up at the 25 by Bagley. And Bagley looked like he was spun down, stayed on his feet, but they do call him down. Corey Kenoy Webb makes the stop. So 1st and 10 for Pennsbury, and throughout this season they've had a very good defense. But tonight Neshaminy finding some cracks in the armor. Big thanks to BAI Security. You can build a game-winning defense around your business with BAI Security, your local hometown security partner. Call 215-493-1414. BAI Security, protecting your business like a champion. A handoff up the gut, and Caden Brown crosses the 30 up to the 31. Ends up picking up a couple of yards and brings us to the end of quarter number 3. Well, big quarter for Neshaminy as they extend the lead. This was a 14-7 game at halftime. And Neshaminy with a pick six, a couple of touchdowns in the third quarter, now with a commanding advantage. We'll step aside and return to Falcon Field in just a moment for more high school football on BCB.
The Peruzzi Automotive Group on Business Route 1 in Fairless Hills is looking for auto techs, all skill levels. Here's a chance to work for a locally owned family business that offers many benefits. For more information, call the service director, John Damarotis, at 215-943-6200. That's 215-943-6200, or visit any Peruzzi service department.
Football is all about being fast and in control, which is also the idea behind CFO, cash flow options from PNC. CFO helps your business accelerate receivables so you can put incoming cash to work faster. And CFO gives you better control over who gets paid when. More speed and control. That's an achievement. Visit any PNC branch or pnc.com/CFO. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated. All rights reserved. PNC Bank, National Association member, FDIC.
Yeah, that third quarter, the Mike Sassano takeover, 2 touchdown receptions and a pick 6 for number 15. And Neshaminy in front here in this one. Last year was one of the great games. You know, like you were saying, Jordan, earlier we were chatting about tonight's game on the high school huddle. On first down, the give is to Caden Brown. And Brown with a 6-yard pickup. But we're talking about the matchup here, and saying that really needs to be a low-scoring game for Pennsbury to have a chance, and up till the first half it was. And then Mike Sassano takes over.
Yeah, this game was really living up to the hype through the first 24 minutes of this one, and you're right. What a quarter for Mike Sassano. That's going to be a quarter that he's going to remember for the rest of his life. Of course, in this rivalry game, last game of the regular season. But you're right, Chris. Neshaminy, Pennsbury rather, they've now given up the most points in a game that they've allowed this season. Hadn't given up more than 20 before this game.
On 3rd and short, they give to Bagley, and he doesn't get it. Flag comes out after the play, probably for something said after the whistle. And Neshaminy jumping up and down like they got the benefit of the call there. You were talking about, some of the great games between these two teams. And the one I was referencing was just last year's game where the Falcons needed a 2-point conversion to get a 1-point victory. All right, they're going to say these are offsetting personal fouls. And they make it 4th and short. Well, big thanks to the Irish Rover for all of their support for Neshaminy football throughout the season. Great food, fine spirits, good times, always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House. That is a great spot right there by the train station at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue. Falcons going for it on 4th down. A little hesitation by Caden Brown, and that'll be good for a 1st down. Lets the play set up, and they'll move the sticks as they have it up to the 43.
It's all reliable. Caden Brown utilized mostly on 3rd and now 4th down in this game. Brown continues to have himself a pretty good night in this rivalry matchup.
One thing that can be a challenge for the Falcons is that with a ground and pound and a run-first attack, sometimes they have difficulty flipping the switch to a 2-minute type of approach as they'll hand off to Bagley. And Bagley up across midfield to the 49. Falcons continue to fight and grind it out on their last regular season game. They'll have to look back to last week for the lone bright spot here this season.
There's been some bright spots in this game. Just overall, the last couple drives has really drained the energy and momentum out of this Pennsbury Falcons team.
Yeah, that 3rd quarter sucked the life out of the home side here as they give to Caden Brown, and he's doing his thing on this drive as picks up another 1st down, and then after the play, more talking, and another flag comes out.
All the skins were pointing as if this one's going to go against Pennsbury, unless we get those offsetting calls.
Yeah, those are always very unsatisfying. At this point, I don't want to see, if something's going on down there, assess a penalty to one team or the other to try to put a stop to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is also the spot in the game where you need, if you're an official, you need to make sure you keep control. Rivalry game, it's the scoreboard. It's kind of getting out of hand with Neshaminy on top here by 28. This is sometimes where frustrations will be taken out, or where if you're Neshaminy, maybe get a little too over-exuberant and celebrate a little too early, and you don't want to say something that you would regret because it would cost your team 15 yards. So the officials, good on them throwing these flags and trying to settle this down before it becomes anything more.
So timeout taken by Pennsbury. That was a personal foul assessed against the Falcons. And so they're back to their own 40-yard line. Timeout on the field, and we'll step aside. Well, you know what? Let me keep it right here. Let you know about some of our sponsors making tonight's game possible, like Puss in Boots at 942 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills, a Fairless Hills landmark. That's what Puss in Boots is, and they've been supporting Pennsbury for decades. They have great specials all throughout the week. Check them out, Puss in Boots. Thanks also to Senator Steve Sanacero, proudly serving the 10th Senatorial District and proudly supporting today's football game as a public service to the community. Senator Sanacero supports the youth of our community, tomorrow's future leaders. And Steve, a former teacher, is a leader when it comes to education, along with infrastructure, environment, women's health issues, and gun violence protection in the 10th Senatorial District. If your school would like a tour of the Capitol in Harrisburg, you can contact Steve's office at SenatorSteveSanacero.com. That's SenatorSteveSanacero.com. On 1st and 10, a handoff for the Falcons. Nets them about 4 up to the 44. 2nd and 6 as the clock now under the 9-minute mark. Well, 35-7, and this was a close game at halftime. Pennsbury got the benefit of receiving the kick to start the second half, but Neshaminy, the defense, got him off the field in 3 Mike Sassano touchdowns. Here the give to Caden Brown. Nets Pennsbury about a yard. Well, an exciting season this year for Neshaminy as they bring in brand new head coach Nick Fairless, and he brings a whole new energy, vibe to this team. One of the rallying cries for Neshaminy throughout this season, Jordan, has been 212, which is the boiling point of water, and is a rallying cry for some football programs to lift the efforts of everybody as Jack Arndt throws downfield and off of the hand of the intended target and lands incomplete. But the thing is, you want to get all of your guys to raise their energy so that everybody is able to raise the temperature of the football program until they get that thing boiling. And tonight, especially in the third quarter, they really got the water cooking, and everybody had raised their game up to that 212 level. And that's what Coach Fairless expects from his team. And that has been one of the things that has galvanized this Neshaminy bunch.
Yeah, Neshaminy, they've done a great job all season long in that 212 method, like you mentioned.
Handoff here, nothing doing. Just back to the line of scrimmage for the Falcons. And a turnover on downs. And Neshaminy taking over with 7.5 to go. And now they're just going to work the clock here and start to think about what's to come for this team. Meanwhile, for Pennsbury, a tough year. They come into it, as always, with high expectations, and a tough first game against Northampton. Had a shot in that game and just couldn't come up to set the tone for this year. And then a couple of tough preseason losses. And then once you get into the SOL, it really is a gauntlet. Their defense kept them in a lot of those games, but they couldn't find a win until last week. Handoff to Caden Weaver.
Weaver on the carry for the Skins. He picks up 4. It'll be
As Neshaminy with some different guys in the backfield with Eckert right now. And the main objective for them, ball security. Neshaminy likely will hit the road to begin the playoffs, but possibility depending on how some other games play out tonight, how many power points they might receive out of this contest. Handoff again to Weaver, brought down by Sam Comer.
44 Comer, 47 Jones.
Comer flattens him at the 39 and brings up third and about 5.
And Chris, you talk about the postseason there. Obviously, you don't want to look too far ahead, and a lot can still play out and shake out with how the rankings look. But Neshaminy most likely going to end up as either the 9 or 10 seed, meaning you're right, they would have to go on the road in round 1. If they're able to win that first round game, if they were the 9 seed, they'd most likely be going up against whoever was number 1. If they were the 10 seed, going up against whoever was number 2. There's a very good chance that could either be Penridge or North Penn. They already beat North Penn back on September 12th, lost to Penridge, but had an opportunity at the end of that game to get a late touchdown to tie it. They were neck and neck with the Rams, a team having a season to remember. So Neshaminy, obviously, first things first is focus on the first round, but if they're able to advance into the quarterfinals, you would think that they would have some confidence if they had to play either the North Penn Knights or those Penridge Rams.
Yeah, as you said, Penridge with a season to remember. Another score to pass along. Tonight, Council Rock South took on their sibling school, Council Rock North. And Council Rock South making easy work of the Indians tonight, 35-0 at one point in the first half of that game. And that secures a league title for the Golden Hawks, also with a season to remember. And also looking forward now to their postseason run, and they will begin that with a home game in Newtown. So Falcons there make a stop on 4th down. And Neshaminy turns it over on downs, gives it back to Pennsbury with just under 5 minutes remaining.
So good to see that we have multiple teams that come out to our high school roundtable shows to be able to get into the playoffs and see multiple teams that we cover in the playoffs. It should be an absolute fun time.
Yeah, the other schools that meet with us on Wednesday nights, the Bristol Warriors, they're putting together a really good season, and they'll have postseason play. Same thing with the Morrisville Bulldogs at the 1A level. So Falcons now 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line, and movement before the snap. I think that was Neshaminy coming across the line of scrimmage. They did. And they're called for the offsides. Well, Neshaminy, they gave the Pennsbury Falcons some opportunities with some early turnovers and with some penalties that cost Neshaminy, but the Falcons unable to take advantage except for that opening drive where they got a defensive hold, kept the drive going. Since then, they have been stymied. Tackle made on that play there by Mason Ponst. But that'll be enough for a Pennsbury first down. Bagley picks that one up. Can't wait to see what Luke Bagley might be able to provide next year for this Pennsbury team. I was talking with Rachel Bagley, who's one of the key members, key leaders of the Pennsbury Parents Group, and she was kind of lamenting that next year is going to be her last year. Her son John, Nate, and now Luke have all been Pennsbury Falcons, and next year Luke will enter his senior season, and he's one of a bunch of guys on this Pennsbury team, underclassmen that will be coming back and going to be able to provide a spark next year for this Pennsbury bunch. And on senior recognition night, you credit the contributions of guys like Dante Ciola, even Jordan Brensinger. You look back at how this season unfolded, and Jordan, a point you made earlier tonight, how Caden Brown maybe feels a little more comfortable playing with Luke Bagley as the running back. That was the way it was supposed to be with Jordan Brensinger as the bell cow back for Pennsbury, but an early season injury had Caden Brown forced into some different roles and positions, and there he gets the give up the gut for the Falcon fullback. He crosses midfield up to the 49.
Yeah, Caden Brown. See, you saw he had the touchdown last week. He's put together a real nice effort despite what's going to end up being a loss for the Falcons here tonight. And you're right, Chris. I think just with Caden Brown, it's a matter of him being comfortable in his role and maybe in a little too over his head because he wasn't coming into the season expecting to be the number one guy. And now that he's kind of gotten that opportunity to take the backseat to Bagley a little bit these last 2 weeks, that's why he's been able to elevate his game over these last 2 games of the season.
Yeah, well, a great effort tonight for Caden Brown. Again, one of the Pennsbury seniors getting recognized before the game. Some of the other underclassmen coming back. You have sophomore Jackson Coons and sophomore John Zurich. And those two guys, number 72 and 73, were mainstays on the defensive line for a pretty good Falcon defense. Now on 3rd and 5, the give to Luke Bagley. He busts it outside to the 30, 25-20, makes a cutback to the 10-5, and he's high-stepping into the end zone. Luke Bagley scores from 48 yards out to make it 35-13 as the Falcons cut into the Neshaminy lead.
Big time run there by Bagley. We said, what is he going to bring next year? Well, he wants to bring something still to this game tonight. Big time run by him. Second touchdown of the night. Luke Bagley, have yourself an end of season.
Second touchdown tonight for Bagley and the only score so far in the fourth quarter of tonight's game. And now Luke late to get on the field, and they snap the football. You can't do that. And the call is actually offsides on Neshaminy.
Huh.
And now another flag comes out. Like Luke Bagley there. That was, you can't have forward motion like that. Maybe Neshaminy was also across the line of scrimmage. Did you see a call, Jordan?
I didn't see a call. I mean, Bagley, that was the second time that he's been late getting on the field on these extra point tries. And you're right. You would think that it would be an illegal substitution or a false start against Pennsbury. Officials have a lot to discuss here, and it looks like we've got a decision. Maybe.
Almost. I think there was somebody was lined up offsides.
The Falcons are backing up here.
Yeah, pretty good indication that it's going to be against Pennsbury. Offsides. But an unsportsmanlike on Pennsbury.
Huh.
You know what? I would need the official to run over and talk with me, as he's doing now with Coach Snyder, because I'm not sure what that was about. All right, so they move the football up to, no, it's at the same spot.
It's at the same spot, I guess.
It's
still dead in the offsetting penalties, even though one was offsides and one was unsportsmanlike, but.
Well, let's try the extra point.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Angelo Pereira out of Brown's hold, and that's good. So 35-14 with 3:15 to go in the fourth quarter after Luke Bagley rushes it into the end zone, and pretty impressive with the high stepping and the cutback that Bagley had towards the end of that run. And for Luke Bagley over these past 2 games, he's got 7 touchdowns. That's a season's worth of work over just a couple of games.
Yeah, and has the most rushing touchdowns, I feel like, out of any Pennsbury player on this team. And that's only in the last 2 games, like you said, Chris.
Well, nobody makes a better South Philly sandwich and hoagie than 9th Street on Main in Yardley at 40 South Main Street. Steak sandwiches made with sliced ribeye, chicken cutlet sandwiches pan-fried the old school way. South Philly hoagies made on South Philly seeded bread, roast pork, meatball, eggplant, and sausage, plus all-day breakfast sandwiches. Catering available 9th Street on Main in Yardley at 40 South Main Street. Open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6. Saturdays open till 4, and open on Sundays during the football season from 10 to 2. There's no other place like 9th Street on Main. Back deep, you got the Sassano brothers and Brock Williams for Neshaminy. And Pereira angling this one over towards Nick Sassano, who makes a fair catch and secures the football at the 32. And now Neshaminy looking to work the remaining 3:15 here on this 4th quarter clock, and to improve their record to 7-3 on the season. And first time in a while they've gotten a win over Pennsbury. And first time in a little bit that they've had a winning record over these past few seasons. So a return to form. And some style points for the 3rd quarter tonight for Michael Sassano. 2 receiving touchdowns and a pick 6. 2 interceptions tonight for Sassano. Hand off to Caden Weaver. And they'll just burn up as much clock as possible. Don't forget you missed the action tonight on BCB. Read about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Outstanding local and national sports coverage. Count on it 7 days a week. It's all in the pages of the Trentonian. Again, Neshaminy just waiting till that back judge raises their hand. That lets them know there's about 5 seconds left on the play clock. And then finally snap the football, pull it down, and give it to Weaver. Weaver brought down by McCardle and Bagley. Makes it 3rd and 4. And we dip under the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, now if Neshaminy's able to pick up that first down, they could just take a couple of kneel downs and ice this one away. But I'll tell you what, Chris, this is a very good Pennsbury defense that the Falcons put out there week in and week out. And Neshaminy, they came in here unafraid. Their offense was able to continue to roll like they've done for the better part of this season. The Skins play like this in next week and into November, they're going to be a real tough out.
Weaver brought down by Coons, and what a masterful performance by senior quarterback Michael Eckert, who has authored a great season already, but puts together another fine game, not just throwing the football, but also decision-making, and a lot of points where he became a running back, and a very effective one.
Yeah, he's really done it all today. And more importantly, the passing game, that's been the one part of the offense that has been susceptible for Pennsbury's defense, is a good passing game. And you've seen it tonight in Neshaminy, those quick screen passes, really just letting their ball carriers get the ball and do what they can do best, get weird with it, get freaky with it.
He's connected with Carter Klee, the Sassano brothers, Bobby Lagler. A low snap and a high spiraling kick. McCartney back to receive and makes an indication for a fair catch. Pulls it in with just about a half-minute remaining. Oh, also Brock Williams. I don't think I mentioned Williams is one of the many receivers that Eckert has connected with throughout the game tonight. Who else am I missing? Lucas Stewart had a grab.
David Liberty had a catch earlier in this one.
I mean, that is pretty good to distribute the football to so many guys. You know, Neshaminy, you're not leaning on the run. You're not leaning on the pass. You're mixing it up. And that, as you said, Jordan, could be a key to making a run in the postseason. Hand off to Bagley as the Neshaminy fans serenading Pennsbury with the na-na, hey here at the end of the game.
Classic.
And looks like that'll be it as the final 10 seconds come off of the clock. And Neshaminy Redskins defeat the Pennsbury Falcons 35-14 in the McCaffrey's game of the night. Neshaminy improving to 7-3, and the Falcons' season winds up with a 1-9 overall record. Their lone win coming last week to the Abington Ghosts. Well, Jordan, thanks so much for helping with the call of the game tonight. I want to let you get down on the field and make sure to talk with our player of the game. Anybody, I'm guessing that's going to be Mike Sassano. I mean, we should talk to multiple guys down there maybe, because there are quite a number of guys certainly are worthy.
Yeah, I think Mike Sassano, though, he's the most worthy of anybody on that Neshaminy team. You can make a case for maybe 4 or 5 different players, but Chris, when you have 3 total touchdowns in 1 quarter, and one of those was on a pick 6, I think you got to be our 9th Street on Main player of the game.
Yeah, some of the other guys, Mike Eckert would be a nominee. Carter Klee had a great game, but Mike Sassano is our player of the game. Thank you, Jordan. We'll let you get down so you can talk here on WBCB. And thanks to all the Pennsbury Falcon fans coming out here to support their team. But another tough one, Gus, and the third quarter was the big turnaround in that one. All of a sudden, 3 touchdowns in, felt like the blink of an eye. I was, like you said, kind of took all the energy out of the Pennsbury sideline and the crowd.
Yeah, we come out of halftime. It was 14-7 Neshaminy, and out of nowhere, it seemed like it was 28-7 Neshaminy. Just really, really big third quarter to really put it on and get revenge of that game last year that Pennsbury came at the very last second to upset them in.
Yeah, they get the revenge they were looking for with a big win here tonight. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for helping to make tonight's game possible and for being with us all throughout this high school football season, including St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey's Food Markets, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, PNC Bank, Jen Shorn for DA, The Revere Restaurant, Team Toyota, Kent's Tree Service, The N Club, Kalinowski Performance Academy, Sandy's Beef and Ale, the Peruzzi Automotive Group, the Pennsbury Football Parents Club. We thank them for their support throughout the season, along with Yardley Pharmacy and Supply. 9th Street on Main. Nobody makes a better South Philly hoagie than 9th Street on Main in Yardley. Thanks to the Trentonian, Galaxy Landscaping, PIAA District 1, Haldeman Ford, BAI Security Systems. Build a game-winning defense around your business with BAI Security. Thanks to Kramer's Bakery, Charcoal BYOB. Beautiful spot right there overlooking the Delaware. Find out more menu options at charcoalbyob.com. Yardley Family Haircutters, Jammer Doors, Peruzzi Auto Group, Puss in Boots Tavern, Senator Steve Sanacero with Chris Auto Body, DiLorenzo's The Berg Pizza, Irish Rover Station House, Junior's Car Wash, and Villa Rosa Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant. We get great support for the Pennsbury games, but then you add the Neshaminy action in there too. We get so many sponsors that help to make tonight's game possible. We thank them all. We thank you for being with us, and thanks to the crew here. Gus Barber, our video engineer, helping to call the game, and Jordan Hirsch, who is down on the field trying to get our post-game interview, also was behind the camera tonight and helping to call the action. So Thanks to the crew. Thanks to you for being with us. Thanks to the Pennsbury community for welcoming us once again here to Falcon Field as we wrap up another season of Pennsbury Falcon football on the WBCB Sports Network. And one final time here from Falcon Field, it was Neshaminy 35, Pennsbury 14. Thanks for catching some high school football action on the WBCB.